Hello.
Important part, do not set off the alarm. If you do, I'm pulling you out. This warehouse is murky water. Their business cards say private security.
M12 Warthog here.
Private army.
Back with another Payday 2 video. Yeah. So, this is obviously my second time doing this. As you can see, that thing that showed up, that was mainly due to an issue with someone stuck on the stairway from the upper... Stuck in the doorway near the stairway to upper small goods and lower small goods, and that was kind of annoying. I got caught because he just wouldn't frickin' move. I also have creeps on, if you're wondering about the active mutators. Today I'm going to show you a guide on how to do Shadow Raid. But for me, my particular playstyle of styles may not be the same as yours. But let's go over this. This area right here is where you're gonna spawn in. Grab thermal paste, we're gonna go down here. What we are going to do is we are going to go into a manhole that's about here. Some people like to go this way. That is fine, but you're practically guaranteed to spend one pager right off the bat just to do that. Me, I prefer to go down here. Because when you are in this sewer, right about here, you have that manhole cover you can unlock. That's a drop-off point. Drop any loot down into the sewer, you're practically good. No one will see the bag. It's good because you can easily get rid of it, because the more loot you have on you, the more protection you have. So if you're carrying a body bag versus not carrying a body bag on your back, you'll have more detection with the body bag on there. Carrying a bag of loot, whether it be gold, money, weapons, whatever, Coca-Cola, whatever it is on your back, in a loot bag, security guards are going to notice it. In here, this right here leads into a doorway. And this will lead to ground floor. Right here. This area here. This is small goods storage. So right about somewhere in this area here, or close to it, is the second manhole cover, and the primary one I go to because it puts you right near all this loot. Like within this area here, you'll probably have, of this room, you'll probably have like at least maybe 1 to 2, sometimes 3 loot with just within this area. You can have a little bit more if you include the canteen and the locker room. This area. And this area here. But just because there's a lot of loot near that manhole does not mean you should go for it first. What you want to do is go up the stairs here, which will lead us to the second floor. Reason for this is because somewhere along in the mission, helicopter comes in, it will land, will send in more security guards, a lot more foot traffic all along here. Practically here. And sometimes they can have an overlook onto the dockside overlook platform, but they usually won't see you if you're up against the wall. If you want to hide behind a barrel or a thing of pallets out there, it's a good place to duck out if you need an out rather than get detected. For me, I'm going to try and do this without any pagers. As a matter of fact, I can't spend any because, well, I have creeps on. Shoot a guard, they will blow up. Does not apply to cities. Found that out the hard way. That saved my ass. Not gonna lie. So I want to go here first if I can. Then go to small goods storage on the first floor, but go to the second floor first for small goods. Then go warehouse. Yard is a little bit more difficult, I would say, in terms of how readily available a hiding spot is, because you can't dip into every little thing. And given the number of guards and how spacious and open it is, you hide on one side of the thing, you're making it harder for one guard to see you, but making it easier for another civvy who just got done writing down something on a clipboard to look over and see your ass and freak out. So now that we have the dead drop of thermal paste in the surveillance, which given the small tiny corners, I prefer to have it on both small goods storage on both floors. Some people don't prefer to do this. There is another way you can do this. People want to prefer to save it for like warehouse stuff, and like, you want to know what? That's fine if you want to do it that way. I prefer to do it this way. This is one of probably a bajillion different ways of doing this. Okay. I may not need to rummage through the yard to get the required 12 bags. But yeah, we'll see.
The main gate is the quickest way in, but probably watched. Maybe other ways in?
Here's another tip when I'm doing this guide. Notice how I stand on the opposite side? That side where my laser pointers are. The ladder's on this side. I do that so I walk into it. You practically will, like 10 times out of 10, will never fall down and require a revive. Some people in a rush do that. Like if you got detected and you just need to move like 2 bags left to the van so you can get out in time or something like that. Or maybe you have like 2 minutes because you have like an ECM going or whatever and you've been detected. Whatever the case may be. So, remember in the yard when I said there's a manhole cover where you'd have another drop off? This is it. There's just one thing though. Usually right here, sometimes there will be a security camera there. But if you have a high enough stealth level, or skills in stealth, or points put into stealth, you probably have the skill that allows you to loop the camera for a minute, so if you need to do something, quickly get in, get out. As a matter of fact, if you want to grab the artifact that sometimes... the artifact that's in that crate that they drop off when they send in more guys on the second floor, like I mentioned. They usually drop off a crate with that. There's usually a red crate nearby. You just open the one door, you drop it off there because it's low when you're carrying it. And I reset the loops because I set it off to go out there, and did it again on the way back because the artifact does slow you down that much. Okay, got that there. I already know there's like possibly 3. Yeah, there is 3 here. A jack of all trades, hence why I have the ECM and the trip mines. Realized there's a security guard there, had to run this way. Always have an out, always think about that. Second I went up that stairs, I thought about, okay, if someone's there, where am I gonna run to? Check the lock. Always have an out. First objective is to grab as much of this stuff as I can. I believe he went down the stairs, but it never hurts to proceed with caution. If you are playing multiplayer, which I'm not, I'm doing the single player mode, probably want to type into chat 1 right now because that's how many bags you have in the sewer. Great way to keep track. Also note, remember how I said that there's another use for the thermal paste other than the plan I'm using? You plan for one thing, but use the thermal paste for the other, it will screw you over because you won't have enough favors for other stuff. So people want to do like one of the several other ways than what you originally planned on doing after you paid for the money and pre-planned stuff and paid it. Well, then you're in a bind because you're trying to do one thing that you haven't prepped for instead of doing a plan you have prepped for. And that's kind of like one of the downsides of having people join late or just knowingly look at what you're pre-planned for and just trying to do their own thing. Sometimes you're gonna have to kick someone. Oh, there's a guard there. So glad I have those. Alright. Well, we're gonna wait for this guard to pass. I'm gonna take a sip of my energy drink. I mean, I like the watermelon one, but I prefer Ultra Sunrise. Okay. Trip mines will alert you of anyone who walks in there. That includes civvies. Spy cams only target security guards, so... yeah. Also, in the sewer, I grabbed a crowbar. Here's one here. About right below me, right over here, I'm above the cafeteria or the Foot Locker. But the cafeteria holds another crowbar if you need it. I don't know where the fourth spawn is, because usually these are the most accessible to the way in which I go about doing this. So first priority in terms of where you loot based on events that will eventually occur. Second floor, small goods. Then the first, then anything else is after that. But usually just clearing out a small goods storage on the first floor afterwards is a good idea because they do have some of the guards come down through small goods storage from second floor small goods storage. So it does increase a little, but not as much on the second floor. Alright. Let's count out how much we have. 5 bags of loot that we currently have. This makes it 6. If I was online, I'd be typing that in chat. Just tell them that you're keeping track of your own stuff. Boom, that's 7. 5 more, and we haven't even looted the warehouse yet. I heard someone walking. It was just a city. 7, then we had the 1 from the warehouse, that makes 8. Oh, there's a security guard in the warehouse. Having those on the stairs is like literally the most useful instance of this. Like if you only have 2, and I mean only 2 strip mines, putting him down there would be the best. Recommendations for the vault. Do not do it if you have creeps on. It's going to require you to kill a guard, and you can't kill guards. If you do not have creepers on like I do, or creeps on, sorry, I call it creepers. I play Minecraft as well. Makes 9. Usually, you're in solo, kill a civvy or a guard that has it. Answer the pager if you're required to, based on who you took out. And then kill another one that's close to the vault. That way you can put them both in within 10 seconds of each other. Would not recommend doing this unless you have fully upgraded ECMs, because they will alert any guard. Just the vault itself being open alerts the frick out of a guard and they go crazy. That makes 10. I need 2 more. I also gotta know there's some guards somewhere over there through the wall. Last time I checked, I'm not sure if they're walking this way. I'm hugging the wall so I don't get detected by the camera. A little weird. Most people won't understand why the frick I'm doing what I'm doing, but works. Alright. Yep. We went to there. Alright. Now the slow and long laborious task of putting these away. But you wanna know what? When you get closer to like 5 or 6 bags, it wouldn't hurt if you're a multiplayer to have one person run these bags, because artifact, as you can see here, does in fact slow you down by a butt ton. But hey, once you get them in here, and as long as no one does something dumb or make a 0 IQ play, you should be fine. Also, recommendations for such high levels. Trolls will know that you spent a lot of money to get a contract at this difficulty, and will try and sabotage it and make you respend all the money on pre-planning. It's annoying, but it will do it. But they will do it. Like, I've had people try to join with like 63 detection, but they're like, this is my stealth suit, and I'm like, first off, you have armor on, and you have grenades equipped, so I'm like, just kick them. Like, always have prompt on when you are stealthing. I've had people who are doing... Because I understand there are missions that can be where stealth is optional, and some people like to play it that way. There's nothing wrong with that, but someone who's geared for loud is going to ruin it, even if they try and stealth, because they will be detected first. Like, they could have, like, they're so kitted out with stuff, like, if they had an invisibility cloak that only makes them, like, invisible, or, like, an invisibility potion or whatever, but not their gear, they're gonna be detected first, rather than me without an invisibility potion or whatever, and still having all my gear on me, because of the concealment and all that stuff. We'll recommend, though, if you are doing the higher levels, get any suppressed weapon and keep stealth down, but nothing that's cheap. A lot of these guards will have higher armor and protection to the point where if you want to take them out and answer the pager before they get a single shot off, you're going to need to do a lot of initial damage. This is why I'm using deagles. The starter pistol they give you is great for the rent-a-mall cops, according to Bane, but still. Now comes the part where I'm probably just going to have to edit out and make a jump cut to when I actually have every single piece of loot in the van. Alright, artifacts. 1.50. Fill in the bag, alright. Now's the time to also mention, while I'm bringing back these bags, that, you should probably carry the heavy ones first, because if you someone's thinking, oh, well, we got some bag, we just need to turn these in, and they get detected, they shoot a guard, try to answer the page, and then get detected by someone else, and no one can help them in time, you're kind of screwed, and you just have to ECM rush it. And if the last bag you have is an artifact, chances are you're not going to get it there in time before all the ECMs are out, unless they have a few upgrades on them, and everyone works together and has high coordination of, like, I'll put down my ECM first, and then when it's done, you'll do yours, then I'll do my second one, then you do your second one, then this person does theirs, and then this person does that, then this, so forth and so forth. Something to take into consideration. I like it how there's still light coming down even though I shut out the lights. Aha, very... Look at that. I have to use a pager or an ECM. How many bags have I secured? 5. Alright. You wanna know what? I'm not gonna make a jump cut. I felt like I should, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like half of you are not gonna believe me when I cut out the part of me just tediously just going back and forth, bringing all the loot to the van, that I actually did this on death sentence with creeps on. But just know I've done this before, and I have a Steam friend who could verify that, who was actually in the lobby with me, so... Based on what he said, it sounded like it was his first few attempts. You do some a-holes and some trolls who joined before I could realize that I could kick them, because they joined while we were in briefing and not during the mission where I could kick them before they joined with the prompt. Yeah. What's funny is that I kicked one, it doesn't let you ban them trying to do this. I mean, this isn't like a confusion, like, you know, this mission can only be done with stealth. Anyway, tries to join back after kicking him. This time he's like fully decked out, has a minigun, no suppressor. Well, obviously you can't suppress a minigun. Has max armor, has frag grenades, all this shebang, and I'm like, yeah, no. He like has he has like a secondary shotgun, I believe. Well, I don't think it showed me that. I think he mentioned that he had one. That it was perfect for stealth. Because it would take out the guards in one shot. Send them flying, like if you good, like if you want to kill someone, shoot them into a room to where their body lands where no one is. Get it out of the way, I understand that. But some people just use it too casually and don't realize it, and then the body goes flying out in front of a camera. And then you can't undo that. Then the camera operator's like, fuck it, I saw a dead body, I'm alerting guards and that shit, and then you're screwed. But still. But once you have at least 8, you normally would be, even though that this is single player, if it was multiplayer, and you had 4 players, you would be able to go in, get the armor. After this mission's done, I will show you the build I went with. I'm still not a 100% sure on what I want in terms of a perk deck, but I definitely know the skills that I want. I mean, I like did default crew chief and still did this with like no pagers with creeps on the same difficulty. That is not a big deal. One thing to note, when you are stealthing this and you are alerted, you practically have about a minute to get back to the van. Or a timer starts. If you put down an ECM and delay that timer, you still get a stealth bonus from what I've understand, because I've had a few close calls and it still gave it to me. But But I haven't had that recently, and there's been several updates since I've had a situation like that happen. Alright. Sorry about that. I had to mute my mic. My roommate decided to bug me about something. That is fine. So, remember how I mentioned that if you got detected and you delayed the alarm thing? I want to see if that's true, so what I'm going to do is this.
Alright, that'll keep Gage sweet.
And we still get our stealth bonus.
Tiptoeing on thick carpet make more noise than you.
That's technically Command Never Knew. Alright! In about the course of 32 minutes or so, you're able to do this entire mission on the highest difficulty with a mutator that makes it even harder. There's your guide. Go in through the sewer, create 2 drop-off points to get rid of loot, because if it's on you, you have higher detection. Loot. Second floor, small goods first, then first floor, then warehouse if you need to, yard. But that's more or less if you can afford the amount of patrons to stay. I obviously could, but I didn't want to, like, spend forever on it with the video and whatnot. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did take the time to leave any comments, questions, or feedback for me in the comment section down below, would be nice. And I will see you guys later in another YouTube video. Bye-bye.